Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar announcing the release of DevSuite 9.3. My name is Jason Hammond. I'm the Director of Product Management here at TechExcel. And I'm also joined by Vineet Agarwal, who is our DevSuite Product Manager, Senior Product Manager, sorry about that. And today we're going to be talking about the release of 9.3. So specifically, we'll be going through the highlights of the release. Vineet will give a demo of some of the features in the release, and then after that, I'll be showing a preview of our new HTML5 GUI that'll be out in 9.5, which will be out this fall, and it'll just be kind of a brief presentation giving you some views of some of the prototypes of what we have now. At the end, we'll answer any questions that you may have. You can use the questions interface on the right to ask any questions. And this will be recorded, and we will send you a link to the recording within the next couple days, and it will also be posted on our website. So I'd like to introduce you to Vineet, and Vineet will be going over some of the slides, specifically going through the DevSuite highlights, and then we'll also give the demo. Vineet, are you there?
Yep. Okay. Okay. So one of the major enhancements that we implemented in 9.3 is the fully definable user interface for DevTrack. What that means is that we have now removed the restrictions of adding the number of custom fields to the description pages. So the user has the complete control as to what fields he should be adding to the description page, and also how many fields he can add. The other major improvement that we did is we simplified the attachment control. Basically, we got rid of the Java, and so that removes the dependency on any Java updates. So now the attachment control is HTML based. So basically, with any Java update, you don't need to worry about updating your attachment control as well. Another enhancement that we included is the instant reports. So now directly from the list view, you can actually view the any of the reports that are available, and you can switch between different kinds of reports. Also, we enhanced the integration between the defects and the tests. So now right from the defects, you can see what are the linked defects, or what are the actual tests that the defects were reported from. Another improvement is related to the product backlog for planning and prioritization. So now the product backlog supports the same set of fields as the tasks that are under the regular development spaces. So now you have the same view for your development space tasks and also for the product backlog. Another major enhancement is based on the inter-project copy between the DevSpec and our CRM solution. That is the customer-wise. So now, right from the customer, right from your customer enhancements or customer bugs, you can actually submit requirements into the DevSpec system, and then you can go through the DevSpec workflow on as to how you want to implement those. And as you are progressing, the customers would be notified of the process. Lastly, in terms of the APIs, we have developed the RESTful APIs now for DevSpec and DevTest. So basically, as soon as you install the APIs, all the APIs are fully documented. I will show you a glimpse of how the APIs look like, and then you can try it yourself as well later. So let me switch to the demo now, and let me show you some of these features. And then, okay. So let's start with, okay, let me show my screen. Okay, next. Okay, so let's start with the fully definable GUI, and let's see some of the capabilities that are now available with the 9.3. So for that, I will have to switch to my admin client, because this is where we actually define the entire user interface for all the users. So if you see, we have reorganized the GUI pages as well in the admin client. So now we have divided, we have section for the system pages, custom pages, and then the function pages. All the pages that you see here are now customizable. So for instance, I select a description page, I can actually change the layout of the fields. I can change the positioning of these fields. So let's say I can change the positioning as well. And in addition, if I want, I can also add a new set of fields as well. So let's say I want to add a new field. I can define a new custom field, select what type it is, and just a basic edit box maybe. And then I can add that field to the description page. So this way I can basically modify the entire layout of the description page, and I can add as many fields as I would like. Additionally, in the previous releases, the system fields that were added to the page, you were not able to delete it, but now you can also select any of the system fields available and choose to delete those fields as well. So once you have defined your description page, so this will be available for while editing your tasks, but while submitting your task, you can define your own interface for some task submission as well. So let's say while submitting a new task, you want some of the fields from the current status page and you don't want to display the current status page at all. So that is also possible with the DevSuite 9.3 release. So you simply need to do add control, and then you can select current status. I can say that I want the fields from the current status pages, and I want maybe the data, the work description, or maybe the spec points as well. So these two fields now are added. Let me delete this, and the spec points I can simply add this here. And also for the new task, I can again, based on my requirement, I can change the layout of the submit page as well. Similar customization is available for the quick submit task pages. So now you can either choose to make a detailed submit, so using this page with a lot of fields in it, or you can switch to a smaller page with only a limited set of fields, and you can enable the quick submit for the task as well. So same settings are available for the backlog item, so that you don't have to differentiate between the backlog and the tasks. You can just use the backlog as a filter for your prioritization purposes. I will also walk you through the web client once we push these settings out, and I will show you how these customizations actually take effect on the website. But I just wanted to complete the admin side real quick. In terms of the forward and close pages, these are also now completely customizable. So I can again change the layout of these pages and also choose to add any of the fields from any of my custom or system pages. Similar implementation goes on for our close pages as well. So now let's just push out these settings to the web, and let's see how these settings take effect. Switch to the web client, and now if I click on the new button, I can see that I just have a single description page with all my defined fields. This is a field that I just added into my into my admin. And this field is actually from a current status page, so technically I don't even need the current status page now. So minimum set of fields. I can immediately switch to the quick submit view, so I have only a limited set of fields now available here for submission. So this basically really enables the user to customize the GUI to whatever fields that they like and whatever values that they want to enter in. Again, in terms of editing, if I open any task, I have the minimum set of tabs open here. I just have a single tab with all the fields here. And if I want, I can choose to, again, customize this page as I showed. So if you notice, the priority field has been shortened. I have my new custom field, and I can add and customize this entire page from the admin client. Now, going to our product backlog enhancements. So now if I click on any of the product backlog folders, if you notice, I have the same set of columns available here, same set of customization. So I can add the same columns that are available for the tasks in under development spaces. And also, while I'm adding a new task under the product backlog, the same GUI is applicable to the product backlog as well. And I can again customize the quick submit button for the product backlog as well. Okay. So let's say new task. Now, in terms of the attachment control, let me show you how easy the attachment control is now. So let's say I want to add a new node. So this attachment control is now all HTML based. Now it doesn't even wait for the Java to load. So you can simply choose to add your files here. But we still have the option to use Java control just in case if you want to maintain the local version of your document, but that's just optional. So this HTML attachment control is applicable across all the DevSuite modules. You can take requirements and even in the events if you're adding any attachments. So this same HTML control will be available there as well. Another improvement in the list view or in DevTrack is the instant reports. So now let's say I want to see a report based on this list displayed here. I can simply use my right mouse menu and I can say view reports. And now on the left hand side, I can get a list of all the instant reports available. I can actually see the information for any of these selected reports here, and I can switch between multiple such reports. Further, I can choose to save this report, and then this report will be saved in one of the parent folders that you select. Another major enhancement is we have enhanced the integration between the defects or between the development tasks and testing. So let's say, let's first filter out all the items which only have linked test templates. So using this, I can actually filter out the all the tasks with no linked test templates or with the linked test templates. So now I just choose that. And let's say if I just click on one of these requirements or tasks. So under the task links tab, now I can see what is the linked test template, and along with that, I can see what are the linked testing tasks as well. So basically, now I can see that this is the testing task from which this bug was actually submitted, but I can also view the entire list of tasks, testing tasks that are linked to this test template, so that this gives me an idea that the same test case was passed in one cycle but did fail in the other cycle. Okay. So moving on to our the other modules, let me switch to the requirements tab. So under the requirements tab, we have an improved list control. So now this list control, you can actually dynamically adjust the column width as well. One major enhancement in DevSpec is that you can now add a linked test template section here. So under the linked test template, you can actually see all the linked test templates for each of these requirements. And now if I choose to click any of these test templates, I can actually view the information, and I can see what basically how the testing team is actually testing this particular requirement. And if I have the right privileges, I can also choose to modify the test template right from the requirements view. So this gives you the ability to just stay in one view and then manage the data from the other views as well. In DevSpec, as I mentioned earlier, we have the improved we have the integration between our customer-wise and the DevSpec. So as soon as you add a new requirement, let me see. As soon as you add a new requirement from one of the from one of the customer-wise projects, so those customer-wise enhancement requests would be listed under the linked customer-wise section. And then as soon as you update the progress status of the requirements, the progress status of the customer-wise items will also be updated, informing the customers that how the requirement is actually progressing. Since we are in the DevSpec, I just wanted to give you a glimpse of how the DevSpec APIs or the RESTful APIs for DevSpec would look like. So I have DevSpec APIs installed. Once you install the APIs, you can just go to your server and your DevSpec API link, and you can see all the API functions that are available for the DevSpec module. And you can also choose to use the sample code to just verify the API implementation. A similar implementation is also available for the DevTest module as well. Okay. Speaking of DevTest, let's see what are the major enhancements available as part of the DevTest module. So we have added the quick status buttons right on the detail frame now. So for both the template view and the task view, you guys can just switch between the statuses just using these instant buttons. So I can choose a set of tasks and I can mark it as in progress or failed right from the detailed window. Additionally, in DevTest, we have also implemented the Silverlight reports. That means we have got rid of all the Java-based controls of the Java-based reports. So like if I open one of these reports, there is no problem, no issue with the Java loading. The reports are better looking as well, and it removes the dependency from the Java updates completely. So both the reports, the template reports and the task reports are all Silverlight based. Additionally, in the template reports, we have added a new set of trend reports for the templates. So you can see we have the new trend reports based on status change, field trend, and field change trend reports as well. So you can create more type of, you can create a new type of template reports as well. As I mentioned earlier, DevTest now also has the REST APIs along with the other web APIs. So once you install it, you will have the same set of documentation and functions available for accessing the DevTest functions now. Also, one major improvement in DevTest is that we have, now you can add multiple requirement links to any of your test templates. So initially there was just one link that was allowed, but now for a single test template, you can create multiple requirement links as well. So now the relationship is one to many or many to one. So it goes both ways from requirements to testing and from testing to requirements. Okay. So yeah, and in terms of some of the keyboard controls, now the DevTrack list view supports the Control and Shift command. So now you can select one task, and then using the Shift command, you can select multiple tasks at once. And also, if you want to select individual tasks, you can actually use the Control key as well. And the control is much better, so that once you click off the control, the selection does not get unselected. Also, some minor improvements in the board view. So now you can actually select multiple tasks in the board view and move from one status to another status. Previously, you could only select one of the tasks, and then you had to move the task one by one, but now you can simply take advantage of the multiple selection and move all the tasks at once. So these are some of the major improvements as part of the DevSuite 9.3. We also have some of the other usability features as well, and we'll be happy to share the detailed release notes with you, detailing all the features that we have as part of 9.3. So now I would like to just switch to Jason, and he will walk you through our new GUI framework that is scheduled for our 9.5 release. And yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Vineet.
Sure.
Yes. So as Vineet mentioned, and let me just share my screen. All right. Make myself the presenter again. Yeah. So I will be giving a brief demonstration of the new UI. we are actually completely redesigning the UI for DevSuite, as well as Customwise also. And what we're doing is we're rebuilding all the interfaces in HTML5. So it's a new UI framework built from the ground up, much more responsive, so improved performance. It's much lighter weight in terms of the bandwidth required to use it. We're also improving the usability and the navigation too. Now what I'm showing you today is actually a prototype of the new UI. And over the next couple months, we'll be reaching out to customers directly, or if you are interested in reaching out to us and saying you'd like to participate, we will be asking for feedback directly from our customers so that we can really make sure that we incorporate all of the sort of usability enhancements in the tool that people are looking for. So right now I'm showing the new DevSuite UI prototype. First thing you may notice is we've gone for a cleaner look in terms of the navigation. We've moved the navigation bar over here, and in general, all the interfaces are cleaner and crisper. I'm going to really focus more on the list view because that's where a lot of the major improvements are. So we'll start off by taking a look at our prototype of the DevSpec list view because it has a few nice features that I'd like to show you today. First and foremost, you may notice that we've cleaned up the toolbar here. Each user can also select themes so that they can change the colors if they want. So I already had blue. I probably shouldn't have picked blue, but maybe I want it green. Or one request we've had a lot of is to be able to have the black theme inverted interface so that if you don't like all the white light hitting you, you can actually revert it to black and view it that way. Additionally, there are a lot of enhancements that are included in the new UI controls. We will still have a details frame if you wish to have it, but it will be an option to turn it off completely in the UI. We're also adding at each column head, you'll be able to have filters for each column head in addition to the new, in addition to having the same search interface we had before. So I can easily do a date search or filter by status or owner or all of them. One thing that I really like in the new UI and that a lot of people have asked about now that we're looking at DevTrack is the ability to inline edit tasks. So from the UI itself, I could easily change the title, change the status, owner. Of course, we're still going to utilize the same workflow constraints you had before, but it'll make it much easier to make changes to items without having to dig in the details or click the edit dialog and to make those changes. We're also improving the icons and the look and feel too. So this is just a very brief preview of what we have in terms of the new UI. Once again, we'll be reaching out to customers directly in the next couple months, or you can contact your account manager, and we're happy to work with you on that. But this is going to be a process where we're going to be taking user feedback and further improving it. Now, I would like to now turn it over to questions. We have quite a few questions already. And so let's go back to PowerPoint and the questions. If you have a question and you have not submitted it yet, go ahead and use the interface on the right to do so. The first question is probably the easiest, is will the presentation be available? Sure. We're happy to send you a copy of the PowerPoint, but probably more interesting is actually just downloading the release note, which was also included with the build, which has about 60 pages of screenshots and information on the fields and on all the new features that are included. This would be a question for Vineet. Will we be able to use any custom fields when creating reports with the new DevTrack 9.3 UI?
Yes. So the custom fields would be available as part of the reports as well.
Great. Okay. Let's find another question here. Do we plan to have new UI for Customwise and ServiceWise? Yes, we do. So there's a webinar coming up in the next couple weeks for ServiceWise, and they may also be showing the prototype, but the same program will be going on. So if you would like to give us feedback on that, that we would be happy to also do that. Question about limitations of 9.3 UI. Is there still a limitation on the number of fields and the number of fields per page and the number of pages in 9.3, Vineet?
No. So in 9.3, basically you can add multiple pages, multiple custom pages, and also you can have a single field created across multiple pages as well. And also in terms of the field limitation, you can add as many custom fields as you want on the description or on the forward or close pages.
Great. A question about the Java control. Do you plan to remove Java in custom-wide service-wide? Yes, that's actually being done also. All of our products will now have Java as an option. So they will utilize a new attachment control and then new reports so that you no longer have to use Java if you don't want to. So and that's been based on customer feedback. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, are we able to create template reports based on folders in DevTest? So the DevTest template report view has been improved so that you are able to select, well, not only just select folders, you can always do that, but also you're able to create additional report types, specifically trend reports and template reports. If there are other questions beyond that on the template reports, I'd be happy to schedule a call and answer those. Okay, let's see what else do we have. There was a question about, oh sorry, I keep clicking through that. Trying to scroll through the questions and scrolling through my PowerPoint. Question about what happened to 9.4. So there is still going to be a release between 9.3 and 9.5. 9.5 is so 9.4 is turning into 9.5 in that our next major release, because we're doing the revamped GUI, we want to call it 9.5 as a major release. There will be a release, 9.3.1, that will come out in the next couple months, and there will be another patch after that if needed before 9.5 comes out also. 9.5 we're targeting for the fall. All right. Let's see some other, Vineet, if you want to grab, if you see any questions that you would like to grab, there's a lot of questions. So let's see.
Okay, so there is one question. Okay, can a field be used on multiple pages? Yes. So you can add a field from any other page to one of the system pages or any of the other custom pages as well. So that would be possible.
Okay, there's a question regarding the integration between DevTest and DevTrack. If you're logged into DevTrack, can you see the incidents have been submitted to DevTest? So one of the things that I think Vineet was showing is actually if you're looking at any bugs in DevTrack, you can see the test case linked, and you can actually, if you have permission to, you can go ahead and edit it. So you do have all that information would be present in both tools now, which was not the case in previous releases. Okay, let's see. A few more questions here. All right. Will we be able to sort on a quick defined field?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Vinny.
Yeah, sure. So basically, a quick defined field is basically it's going to be treated as any other field. So once you add that field to your list view, you can easily sort your list based on that particular field as well.
Okay. Okay, there's a question about the customer is on 8.2 and they're asking about upgrading to 9.3. Certainly you can upgrade from 8.2 to 9.3. Anytime you're doing an upgrade though where it is spanning multiple upgrades, it's always a good idea to check in with support or your account manager, and they can check in with support for you just to see if there's going to be any sort of upgrade that's going to happen before you can actually get to the latest version. So what I would always recommend is reach out to your account manager, and they can schedule a call with support or professional services to take a look at that for you. Will there be any changes to the DevTrack, DevTest only web login UIs? That's a good question. All the UIs are going to change. The login pages themselves, we'll have to take a look at that and see whether or not any changes would be made. I'd be happy to follow up with you directly on that to see what your requirements might be. Okay, and then finally, a question about the integrations and the APIs that are available. So the new APIs that are available for both DevTest and DevSpec will allow you to do, a variety of different activities within the tool, but utilizing the API to do it. So if you wanted to integrate it with doors or other third-party solutions, you could utilize the tools to update fields in either DevSpec or DevTest, add links, and do things like that. It's always good to schedule a call with product management to discuss your specific API needs or integration needs, and we can talk about how you could best do that with the APIs. A question about private cloud offerings for customers. We do have a hosted option for any of our solutions, and you can have a hosted option instead of installed if you are interested in that. And a question about 9.5 beta. What we're planning to do regarding 9.5 and getting feedback on it is we will be getting feedback based on the prototypes that I have showed you today in the demo, and not necessarily based on a beta release. Beta release will certainly follow in late summer, early fall, and there will be the opportunity to test that also, but we are trying to gather all feedback prior to even creating the alpha or beta release, so that before we even finalize our UI designs, we're getting feedback from customers. Okay, well that about wraps up the questions today. If you did have a question that we did not answer, we will try to answer it via email, or you are always welcome to reach out to your account manager to schedule a call directly with Vineet and I, and we'd be happy to go over anything that we showed today or the new UI, or just get your feedback about how your experience is using our tools. Thank you so much for attending today, and we will talk to you again soon. Thanks a lot.